Okay, the stream is starting. If memory serves, or experience tells that the first few moments of it are going to be a bit dodgy because the coding will be overloaded. But we'll see. So last time I think my stream died a bit earlier, which was a bit of a shame. But there was nothing I could do about that. And it didn't allow me to get back on, so since the rest of my internet worked just fine, I suppose it was the YouTube server somewhere that died on me. So I apologize for that. I hope that there wasn't too much cut off. I think best case was we discussed the Kamonatong. I realized I forgot to sell my Ebony Dart and some of those weapons I got. And aside of that, I wondered how many metal pieces we needed for the hard here. I don't know why I have such a difficult time, I'm not going to say hard time here, such a difficult time pronouncing this name. I found scrap metal. I believe I bought it. But yeah, that's fine. It was a very easy job. And we'll have more orders. Okay, rescue the hermit Josen and so on. Let's try to reach the Arabaninsum of Imperial Culture and Virtue. But some Ashlanders do not appreciate that. He was at the Arabanimson camp and was taken from there. Go find Josen, deal with the captors and make sure he is safe, then report back to me. Oh great, he wants us to go to the very, very far reaches of the Ashlands. I'm not up for that just yet. Okay, YouTube's not complaining, so I suppose we're alright. And the stream did sort itself out, which is just lovely. We also made some progress in the main quest. I think we turned in the Dwemer thing, the Dwemer puzzle box, and we got the Dwemer key for that. And Caius Casades has given us some time off to work on our disguise as a free adventurer, I guess. Okay, YouTube's just now complaining. Not sure what it says because OBS is like hogging part of the window there. Okay.
Think it'll rain?
I'm going to pause the game for a moment. Because I need to probably look at my own stream again. Damn it. I need to do this and... one moment, we're about there. Okay, YouTube. Go watch the live stream. Cut the sound out. So I don't need to hear myself twice. Okay, and back to the game we go. And I think what I want to do is go back to Arkingtand and see what we can get there. Like we have this stupid Dwemer key. So my suggestion would be go back there and find out what we can find out. Maybe there's some good loot in there. Maybe not. We have no way of telling. I believe right now YouTube's complaining about the keyframe interval. So that my stream seems to be alright, so I'm not gonna bother with that. I'll even open the chat, although I don't really need to. What was that? I don't like when the game randomly plays the weapon sheathing sound. Or drawing sound, it's pretty much the same. Oh, cliff races. There are more cliff races. Why do they always have to be cliff races? I'm gonna go with my regular iron arrows for now, because I think those will do just fine. Of course it had to move now. Just stop moving. Bloody thing. Okay, it increased my marks. Oh, did I kill it? No. Again, skill for not killing it, I guess. I mean, it didn't lose any health, so I suppose my marksmanship did not really do anything to it, but it increased, so I've no idea what I hit. This one hit at least one of the racers. I believe I'm out of their AI range or something, because they don't seem to bother, or care particularly, about being shot with arrows. Oh, one is down. Lovely. I'd like to get out of that now without wasting my arrow. Well, one of my wishes was granted. Let's let's hit that static cliff racer there. Or at least try to. Could I have to aim a bit higher than that? Always takes me a bit to find my aim. Ah, screw it. I think this one's going to be more of a problem for me. Oh, that was actually good. I'm still somewhat used to the mountain blade way of archery, where you basically have to aim, and it's kind of accurate for in terms of combat, because what you want to do is you want to shoot and you want to knock in the next arrow and actually get it ready for firing. Not firing, just releasing, I guess. You don't fire a bow. Quite a few great videos on YouTube about why you don't fire a bow. Mostly because the trigger mechanism doesn't actually involve any source of ignition. So yeah, you can't fire a bow. Okay, YouTuber stopped complaining. That's good. We'll stop sneaking for now. Put the bow away. I think we're running a bit faster with that. Ah, get in. Wonderful. I believe we could have just taken metal pieces from here, unless we have already done so. It doesn't even require you to actually kill one of those. And since Rad doesn't really seem to check where the metal pieces come from, you can just buy them from, for example, Hajira, and they'll still be fine. The Legion will still be happy about winning against the Ordinators. But I find it hard to believe that the Ordinators actually would go for such a bet. Because considering they're like the Temple Guards and they're supposedly very, very virtuous and above such petty things, I wouldn't expect them to actually go for one of those bets and actually, you know, do such silly things like betting with the Outlanders of all people. The Outlanders, who can kill the bigger creature, or the more impressive creature. I guess I just wanted to have the Imperials do some stupid stuff. Which I guess did not quite work, because I think I just nicked those metal pieces from somewhere on the ground in Adrian Ruin. But I'm glad we got them taken off our hands, because they were bloody heavy. And that's actually one thing I really did not enjoy about Morrowind too much. Many of the things you could take were really just way too heavy. Okay, it's time to go with the Devil Spear again. And he stood no chance. Need to work on my sneaking though. Gotta say that, I need to work on my sneaking. Okay, we haven't found the lock with the Dwemer key yet, or rather the lock we need it for. I think it was a quite good one, so it's certainly worth keeping an eye out for that. Cells of the Hollow Hand. We'll go there later. I want to see first what we can find without needing it to open any further doors. Raw ebony. This stuff is so great. And of course more scrap metal. If memory serves, many of those jars actually have gems. The dwarves are really keen on their gems. So they have loads of those around. There's the Weeping Bell Hall. Okay, Hollow Hand or Weeping Bell Hall. Both of those don't sound too tempting. We'll go Weeping Bell first, I guess, because we're here. Okay, I just saw somebody move away there. There's a smuggler down this hallway. I guess we'll wait for him to come back, and then we'll try to snipe him. Humans are very thankful targets, because they're pretty big. Okay, stand still. God damn it. If you actually try this and you have a decent bow, you probably wouldn't be able to do this for very long, because keeping a bow pulled back like this is very, very tough.
No one can match me. Ow!
I want my arrows back, thank you. That was pretty hideous sneaking, but at least we got a kill and maybe some minor marksmanship skill. Okay, Haven's Gallery, that sounds nice. It sounds like that's where loot would live. Although in Morrowind the Dwemer Ruins, actually many of the dungeons are not straightforward. There is a loot chest at the end of the dungeon. Just go there and kill whatever lord's in there. It's usually a bit more complex, and sometimes you actually have to look for the stuff you wanted to rob. Screw it. Devil Spear. Where's my spear? Here. We didn't need to actually use the magic there because he was pretty much down already. Steel and iron door, that was something I'm looking for. Oh, there was a trap here. Which basically spells free mana for us right now. But don't rely on that. I should have probably checked for that trap first. Sometimes you get away with it. I should really start getting rid of those traps. Look at that! Somebody had an actual spear here. Red Livia. I wonder how she got her name. I thought that was an enemy, but it was just some cogs. Gotta hand it to those dwarves. For a race that has been extinct for centuries by now, their stuff still works for the most part. Ooh, a hammer. And a lockpick. We'll probably need both of those at some point. Since there's no like lockpicking minigame in Morrowind, it's kind of difficult. You'll always use at least one application of your lockpick whenever you pick a lock, so it's certainly an item that will get used a fair amount. So we have some started hammers. Come on. Thank you. And I'm not sure if your like marksmanship skill or weapon use skill actually affects how quick the weapon deteriorates, how much health every use drains away from it. Something I have to admit I've never really looked into. Even though many of the teachers actually tell you not to bring those heavy hammers. Is this the point we've been at? Yes, it's this way. Okay. Let's get... well, while we have the mana, let's actually do the Mother's Kiss. And we'll have to probably really get some basic spellcasting skills going. Like, I think I'll have to go to at least, say, 50 to 20 points in that skill in order to get anywhere reasonable with this, because right now we're just wasting mana in spades. Do you have actually spades of mana? You get what I mean. We're wasting mana with most spells because we just don't get them to fire off as often as we should. Okay, now get my bow back out. Okay, that way is nothing. That way is just a bed and a bench. That looks like a room I would make in Dwarf Fortress. You have a bed and a bench. That's all you get. But those are yours. You get to keep them. Although I think in Dwarf Fortress I'm actually one of the people who gives dwarves a fair amount of room. Like, I usually do 3x3 rooms, which is humongous in terms of Dwarf Fortress from what I gather. Some people go with just a bed. Or like a bed and then one cabinet or one chest or what have you. There. So let's go over here. I wish I knew where the three important books were. How did that miss? Okay, keep that there. Yeah, they try to dodge arrows at times. Aha! Not enough magic art. Well, great. Totally didn't want to do that. Just want to use my spear. It's my favorite spell, I guess. The good old spear to the face. At least it works, I can't argue with that. I may argue with results, but arguing with a spear is really difficult if you don't have one. And just like come at me with a dagger. Okay, what is down there? There's one way down here and one way down here. Both of those look and sound dangerous enough. Okay, this certainly looks dangerous. Probably because of the magma. It doesn't seem to be that far down in Morrowind. I believe in order to get to the actual magma, or to the actual like core of any other world, you'd have to dig fairly deep. How did that miss? So we concluded I'm terrible at archery. At least at the moment. I'm gonna get better at some point. So once you get the hang of it and you get to... you start to figure out how much you have to lead your shot and how much you have to go up to compensate the drop off of the arrow. And actually get a pretty decent archer, or become a very decent archer pretty quick. I hope I can sell those bloody coins. Okay, anything good in here? Goblets. I'll see if Relive and Balmoral will take them. 0.1 for 50, I think that's pretty damn good. It's a good way to haul your loot back out. Doing barrels actually. These steel kegs might actually have, I guess, residual dwarven beer. Or in lieu of that, metal pieces. Which also can be fairly expensive. Put that up. Although, no, they're not. 20 a piece, that's not a lot. By any stretch of imagination, it's not a lot. Or rather, just any stretch. There's a chest here. With a lock level 5. I think that's a good time to practice our lockpicking. And that was in fact a chest that was totally worth it. This dwarven war axe here would be nice to wield. And even though I believe Dwemer artifacts are in fact forbidden to trade or even carry out, people won't really be bothered by you wearing dwarven stuff. They will, however, be bothered if you, for example, wear an Ordinator kit. Because that is forbidden. That's like literally only reserved for the Ordinators themselves. And anybody wearing this stuff is... Oh, that's the lower Arctant key. So we're unlikely to find any more smugglers down here, because they apparently didn't have the key for that. Let's see what we can find here. A Dwemer spider. Get my longbow out. And I don't think the poison arrows will do anything against those. So we'll get the frost arrows, although I think those won't be too great either. Okay, screw it. Spear time. So terrible with the bow. Might as well not bother. Okay, there's a spider behind at least one of those doors. Not this one. Let's get the better spear out. Ah, shame we didn't get that one. Okay, we are over encumbered. For a moment at least. Look at that, we wouldn't even have... Okay, we wouldn't even have gotten the metal pieces from that one. And now the game suggests we take a nap, which I guess is reasonable. And all we got from this was empty steel kegs. Lovely. I guess those kegs would be worth a pretty penny as well. Should be something useful in here. There is a heavy Dwemer chest. And we have plenty of those on these key things. Yeah, great. I mean, this would be nice to sell, but for now it's just rubbish. Also, this stuff hurts if you jump into it. So avoid jumping into the magma. That's some life hacks from me to you. How's my magic skills? I mean, destruction is, with 16, we actually get the easier spells to fire off somewhat reliably, so I think I'll have to get everything up to 15 by way of teaching. Or we'll have some very simple spells made for us. I'm not sure if the arrow de-knocker patch actually de-knocks the arrow properly, so I'll just fire it off, I guess. Should be something good down here. A deep ore passage sounds promising. I forgot what's this way first. It sounds like one of those Centurio spheres. I'm not sure we can handle those just yet. Also, really not tempted to rest here. There are enemies nearby. And this thing there is certainly hostile. Screw it, Devil Spear. Look at that, we actually killed one of those spheres. Just like the Legion guy asked us to. We did not do it in the order he asked us to do things though. With Dwarven Ghost, I think you can actually trap those souls for a pretty nice amount. Is it dead? Yes. Ectoplasm. And an ornate chest with an ancient Dwemer door key and a decent hammer. Lovely. So yeah, this is where the good stuff sits. We have frost salts. So I don't want to take those. I think those actually make a Restore Magicka potion. Door. I got my spear out. It's a shame we didn't actually absorb any of the magicka from that Orb Inspector. Do I want to save again? I don't think so. Shame they don't have those soul gems anymore. Or not yet, at least. If you recall, in Skyrim, most of those Dreamer constructs actually had like soul gems to power them, and that's actually a really good source of soul gems. Or they were somehow digging them out. I don't know. Either way, you could get a plethora of those soul gems from those dwarven mines, which was kind of cool. Or dwarven sites. Spear again. And now I'm probably wasting a lot of time with sneaking while I'm holding these this summoned spear, or this bound spear. Go for kill that one. That means I think we can rest for 1 hour. We have ascended to level 6. You sense yourself more aware, more open to new ideas. You've learned a lot about Morrowind. It's hard to believe how ignorant you were, but now you have so much more to learn. Okay, as announced, this was more of a wild leveling, so we'll get 1 to luck, 1 into... Okay, we'll certainly get the ones we at least have 3 points in. So endurance and agility, even though we might need some strength. I will go with the other things. It's Heaven's Gallery, and we want to go straight through there. Okay, deep ore passage. That was quick. Yeah, they don't seem to have anything valuable. I don't think there's actually anything good in those cupboards either. Sometimes you get lucky and you get loot in that. Which might, by the way, actually be level. So this might actually depend on your character level. Okay. If worst comes to worst, we can always unsee the intervention out. And that should take us straight back to Balmora. What's up there? I believe we can actually get there later on. Okay. Let's get this equipped as magic. If we can't go up there, I might even waste one of my levitation elixirs there. Kind of want to know what's there. Okay, that's at least some value we got out of this summoning. Got 2 kills out of it. What's over there? Something, I guess. Not sure if we're only supposed to go here later. I don't think that's the case. Okay, there's certainly something here. Is up there. Sometimes you do get the feeling that you just came here for absolutely nothing. Which is also fine, but it's not exactly the greatest reward ever. Okay, down here is pretty much jammed. How about swimming? Anything over this way. More over this way. So, last attempt would be to fly up there. Let's do that. We'll save the game quickly. And then... magic away. Where's my bargain potion? Restore, restore, restore. Water walking, cure, cure, cure. Which I had, it's probably, yeah, bargain rising force potion. Okay, what is up here? Well, the game put an enemy here, so there's certainly something going to be here. And one downside of levitation is I can't sneak anymore. You can actually sneak when you water walk, but you can't sneak on while you levitate. Okay, so there's an enemy here. But what else? The answer is a grand total of nothing. This is up there, and thus just as well out of reach. I guess I could try to levitate, but I'm not sure it'll yield anything. I don't know what is used as scrolls. It could have given me like a belt of flying, you know. Do I have any other levitation things? Feather. Store, cure. Yeah, I think we're out of luck. I'm not gonna recall here, but if we have to go back here, we'll have to go back here. We'll not get lucky here because we have 0 chance of getting this spell to cast. So I guess we'll just intervention ourselves out. And we'll probably have to come back here later. Now we made some loot, so let's try to sell that off. We're on the right side of the city, so Ravir should be somewhere nearby. And we'll see what he has in store for us, or rather, what he'll buy from us.
You like to walk a fine line, don't you?
I guess we'll also take a nap in the Mage's Guild, like just as we like to do. Yeah, that's Ravir. I'm one of your best customers, probably one of the only ones because I can walk. So maybe not insult me too much, my friend. Where are those Dwemer coins? There they are. 33 of them. Will you buy them all? Yes, you would. Okay, that was a bit much. Give me some more. He's not exactly paying very well for those. I want from him? No. That guy's I want one of those coins back. I want you to give me like 590 for that. Wonderful. Thank you very much. I'm off here. How are we looking money-wise? We have 4,000 gold. Let's actually get our spells, or our spell casting, up to a decent level. So this will be a bunch of money spent on things we're probably not going to gain levels from directly, but at least it's going to be something that's going to benefit us in the long run quite a lot, because we won't have to waste so much mana on things we don't need.
You want something?
Yes, I want to get through there.
What do you want?
You can train me in alteration, that's lovely. I will actually take that. And we'll go to 15, I said, so we'll do that. Although we might as well go further with that, because alteration is going to come in really handy when we actually get to the various towers. Right now the chance of levitate is still 0, so I might as well go further. We have 7 willpower, so we'll do 3 more with alteration. 2 and 3. That's still willpower. We'll take something else then. I guess I'll take blacksmithing actually, because that will... we don't need that. Anything else? Well, we need something that is strength based that will... could train in alchemy. Yeah, I think alchemy is actually a decent pick as well. And it uses intelligence.
May I help you? Warm day to you, friend.
I mean, enchant is also nice, but it's not one of our class skills, so we'll go with alchemy. And we can just go with that until we get a notification that we should rest and level up. Provided we can afford it. I think 25 is actually the level you need to see more of those traits. There we go. Also, how's your bet with Galbadia doing? Adira has won the bet indeed. It shouldn't have been too hard. I mean, we basically did everything for her. And level 7. You resolve to continue pushing yourself. Perhaps there's more to you than you thought. And this is basically what you kind of want to see when you level up. 5, 5, and 1 for luck. You can also spend this differently, like in one trait you kind of left behind. I'll really have to look into training my personality later on. So we'll probably go with some speechcraft and some maybe even mercantile. I don't know. But on the bright side, this will be very cheap trading. I mean, you kind of have to keep going, because if you, like, if we do this on the side and we ignore putting points into speechcraft, and we accidentally push this to like 30 or close to it, and or if you push actually all the skills that rely on personality to 30 or close to it, and then you try to level them up further, you can't.
Our sugar is yours, friend.
Can we sell you anything useful? Do you want to sell buy those coins? No. Fine, don't. I don't have a use for those emeralds. They're expensive, but right now we need the money more than we need anything else. So emeralds, off they go. I could use them for spells, but I think I'm better off just selling them. We'll keep the frost salts though, because yeah, and now we can actually see 2 of the traits of everything. That doesn't mean we can't use them. As you've seen earlier, we could just use the secondary, or one of the other unknown effects of an ingredient just fine. It even shows the the resulting potion will have those traits, but of course I'm not sure if you actually need to know the effect in order for the potion to be like successful or not. Or if you take like a hit to your chance in actually brewing that potion, if you don't know that a bit, or the property of your ingredient. So there's something else we need to do here. Need to. We kind of want to do that though. That is, I think, up here. This is the Lalo Manor. Apparently something sees me right now. Something or someone can see me. I'm not sure who or what that would be. Is it Jesus? I'd really like to be invisible now. Because opening that lock right now would be a crime. Music sure goes triumphant, but it's not actually what we need it to be right now. And we now have a whopping 3% chance to actually get away with levitating. Isn't that amazing? Okay, we'll have to get the hang of conjuration as well at some point. I really don't do much conjuration. It's like one of the skills I never really use. Just because I found it's kind of a waste of mana, although for all the things that are fun to summon, you actually need to spend a lot of mana, especially when you... I usually go with the ritual as my sign. And that, unlike the Atronac, doesn't give you the Fortifier Magicka. So you're stuck with 100 Magicka top. Why am I not sneaking? Like, what the hell is seeing me? Okay, Doozy's opened, or we'll try to spell. I believe this will be reported as a crime, so we're saved here. Nobody has seen us, so it's not been a crime. There's no bounty on us right now. We did have a bounty off camera when I was exploring and trying to get to Caldera. So this is the Lalo Manor. Rylan Hello here apparently has seen better days. He has extravagant stuff, so we could nick his stuff, but as I said, I'm trying to restrain myself when it comes to stealing. This stuff here you really want to hold on to, because it's very expensive. It's actually a Thieves Guild quest, so you're supposed to find this body much later. However, you can actually... I think he has a servant over here. It's just terrible what happened. Rylan Lalo employed me for years. What will I do now? Yes, I was one of Rylan Lalo's servants. I saw the Dunmer who killed him with my own eyes. I can't give you the murderer's description. Dunmer who murdered Rylan Lalo was young, with red hair and a tall row over his head, as is fashionable these days. He wore bone mold armor and wielded a Dwemer war axe. I don't know more than that. I'm sorry. I wish you luck. Okay, so just in case you've been paying attention last time, we've been in the council house with the Commander Tong, and Fenalen Vellers, the blacksmith, actually fits this description pretty damn well, but in case you didn't figure it out yourself, and because, well, to be fair, with the somewhat limited amount of things and of haircuts and all that, there's a decent chance of somebody being like having the same thing twice. So yeah, he's not unique, Anyway, if we talk about Ral and Lalo now, yeah, that's the thing we've already done. And yeah, that could be telling Velas at the Council Club. Now, if we go to Mr. Velas himself and confront him with this clear evidence, he will point to, obviously, he will point to someone else. But we'll do that for now. We'll not push it there, because I believe at some point he will go and attack you. That's something I'm not yet keen on having happen to me.
Annoying outlanders.
So he's not wearing bone mold armor just yet, but he has the hair. What about the murderous description? Ah, yeah, no, he doesn't like us, and we're not going to bribe him. It's a waste of money. But if you ask him about it, he'll just say, yeah, it was Ninto, who, as you all recall, is an Argonian, so he does not fit this description in the slightest. Okay, so yeah, I was told that. I'm currently not very rich, right? No, I have 1,000 drakes, well, gold pieces. In the German version they were called drakes for some reason. So I kind of stuck with that. Also confused me in the first bit, because I didn't know that was like the name for the currency. I was like, okay, why would I want one drake that was lying around somewhere? Eventually it struck me, haha, it's gold, I should have picked it up. Okay, do you have anything else to sell? What, hammers? Might as well use them. Okay, my hammer has been used up. Lovely. Luckily, there's more where that came from. Ah, the time when blacksmithing was just a click fest. Okay, what other quests can we do? I'm not going to do the Mage's Guild stuff for now. I'm also not too tempted to go with the Telvanni stuff. Okay. I guess we can try the bloodbath. The thing is, it's very hard to get attacked, and we will commit a crime.
Don't stand about. Get moving.
I should have actually taken that vintage brandy. I'm going to try that now. And we'll see if we can find enough loot to actually bribe our way out. If not, I'll load the game. And we'll just get back to that later on. But I'm also curious if the Devil's Spear allows us to actually do the killing here. I don't know if we only need to kill the guys inside. I believe that was a way to actually piss him off. It was not that. Ah, no. I'm quite sure if you talk about him, about the murder's description enough, he will actually get pissed at you and really, really get mad at you.
I can already tell I'm not going to like this.
That is what we call intuition. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make this just yet. We do have a restore health potion. We're gonna need more than that, though. Okay, I think we certainly are bit over our head here. Where's mine? Restore fatigue. Yes, I would like to load this. That didn't work out as I had hoped. And I forgot to check how much bounty we got. Oh well. Yeah, I think around level 10 is actually good for that. Although I think I went in with very low stamina. Yeah, we went in with very low stamina. I shouldn't have done that either. Low stamina means you get knocked out very easily when you when somebody attacks you unarmed, and that doesn't help you either. Let's try this again, but this time we'll start off with the restore fatigue. I mean, this lasts for 30 seconds. We shouldn't actually fight too much longer. I just want to see how much bounty will accrue that way. Okay, we have killed, I think, 3 also. And we're at 3,000 gold bounty. And I think we're about to need that. Okay, so here we are, in the midst of all those bodies. We can now loot them, of course. All their stuff is ours now. They have some decent lockpicks. We're gonna have those, for sure. Now guards would actually charge in, they won't storm the building. And I'm kinda glad there are no guards in here. Okay, Madra Tirith is sorted out. Tenade and Velas. And a bunch of hammers, lovely. And now we can't use all of those, but we'll hold on to them for now. Okay, Vaduza Sathrion, you had a rubbish sword. Barnor Saren has a lot of booze, some of which is actually useful. I will take that stuff. I'll have to sort this later. And Silver Trundle has the key to Narano Manor. We want that. And we are way over encumbered, so we'll have to figure something out. I believe actually Barnor Saren, one of those fortifies strength. So we'll take the Grief. Uh, 20 points will put us to 360. So if we drink that, we'll actually take another Grief. And then we'll start hammering away at our stuff, because I'm quite sure it took quite a beating there. Actually not that bad. It was actually not that bad. Okay, let's get into the magic potion stuff. We want to drink 1 Grief. Yeah, it hurt our agility quite massively. Something you can't help when you drink. And I like how they actually gave everything a negative side effect as well. Might as well loot the place over here. We will need a lot of cash. That's out of the question. We will need a lot of cash. I think there was nothing good in there. No in here. Then we could make restore stamina or fatigue potions with those Kwama eggs. But all in all, they're not that great. Okay, that's the room you can actually rent. You can rent a room in here, if you really want to. Okay, this lock we can't likely open. Okay, now. Step 2 of this is a bit more difficult. We need to get out, and I really hope we have enough money. Otherwise, I'm gonna, again, just reload the game, because I don't want to get caught for this. I should have drank the Flynn. Okay, let's see. Sneak. Open door. Immediately drink the invisibility potion we should still have somewhere. There. Ah, shit. That's not good. I believe this will... Yep, this strips invisibility. That's not good. The guard is already running for us. And we can't afford to kill guards. I do not want to kill guards. So, running it is. Run like the wind. Okay, we're safe now.
Head on.
Hello. I don't know if I can. Your claws are sharp.
But yeah, people will
Are the best in town.
remark differently when they know that there's a bounty on you. And yeah, there's a price on the head indeed. They will fix that for 2,500. I'll pay that. Okay, yeah, we don't have the gold for that. Would you like to buy some booze from us? We have some Flynn. I'd be willing to share. How about your what those types? Fine. Any books he wants to buy from us? Maybe this one on Morrowind. We don't actually need that one from for the gods and the emperor. Anything else? I think we need those plans. We might need those plans. Can you like put me on tabs or something? We'll barter with you. She has a master's lockpick, which would come in handy. Oh, she doesn't buy that stuff. Dang. Yeah, we'll probably load the game. We'll see. Maybe Habazi will pay. Okay. I gave you a Nerano mana. Here's the key. 500 gold. Okay. Now, bonus points. Do not talk about Silver Trundle because that will incur a reputation hit with her. Could you advance me? Okay, find more jobs. Okay, Razid. Actually, oh, fine. We'll have to go to that word for that. I'm not gonna do that. At least not right now. Okay, we need to do something to get money. We might actually get rid of the Flynn with the actual bartender here. Mr. Clausius, would you like to buy stuff? For example, those lovely potions here. Quite sure you're interested in that stuff. Okay, yeah, you would be. Okay, we'll also sell you the... You'll have to keep those potions. I'll sell you one of those if you want to. I'll sell you both of those if you want to. You can also have the... Have some cheap restore potions as well. We'll drop those off. That one can go... we'll need that. How about miscellaneous stuff? Droid wax? Yes. Come on, a bit more money would be nice. Okay. Those coins, perhaps? No, you don't want that. Fine. Okay, we need a bit more money.
Speak up.
Tiny bit more money. Can you buy any of the other stuff we hold on to? Like, would you like to buy scrolls? Probably sell 4 of those. Yes, you would like to buy them. You don't have much money though. That kind of sucks. That's kind of Nice. We don't need that. We have the key amulet. And the thing here is, I mean, the Odysseus key amulet does 50 points straight. And this one has a bit of a variation, so we can go 40 to 60 points on touch. But you can't define that. I think the chance of it getting higher is increasing with your alteration skill. I'm not sure how that is applied with scrolls. I think those might just be completely random, so I prefer the one that gives you 50 points straight. And then there is the lock splitter, which actually does 100 points, which is just great. So you can go with those for anything beyond your abilities. Okay, I think you can have the... Did we give you the... No, we did not give you the Secret Intervention Scrolls. That is kind of cool, actually. Sell one of those. Okay, nice, and we're over encumbered. We should have another grief. I should have another grief somewhere. Okay, we'll just drop off the hammers, I guess. I mean, those are heavy. And luckily you can drop the entire stack and it won't do anything negative for you. Okay, there's plenty of hammers.
You hear about your wounds? You should find healing.
I should find somebody who's willing to sell me shit. Or who's willing to buy my stuff, rather.
The blue plates are nice, but the brown ones seem to last longer.
Okay, you don't have much money, but we can just barely make that, I think. No, we can't. However, you want to probably have... We'll hold on to those. You can have those two. Will you? You will buy them. Thank goodness. Okay, I'll keep that, keep that, keep that. Kind of want to hold on to those. Okay, I suppose we can give you one of those scrolls as well. I would like all the 135 gold you give me for that.
My prices are the best in town.
Okay, now if we barter with you and sell you, I don't know, you buy, no, you don't buy this. You still don't buy this, I should say. Do you buy that stuff? No. Dang. Okay, fine. We have found a fair few lockpicks. So we'll sell 5 of those. Can we get more for that? If I add a journeyman's lockpick to the pile. Oh wait, the seller has no gold. We'll cancel that. Yikes. Okay, we'll need to do this differently. We're almost at the 2,500.
Don't press your luck.
You. I need 30 gold from you. Is anyone in this place willing to borrow me 30 gold? Do you know you don't want to buy those? I'm stuck with those useless coins. Okay, fine. Have 1 MC Invented Scroll. I need 2 for a quest later. Oh, you didn't buy that. Fine. We'll go with magic potions then. I'm sure everybody would like to have one of those restore fatigues here. That is fine. That's all the gold I wanted. That's absolutely wonderful. Be through. Let me through. We got this. We totally got this. You. Sort the price on my head out, please. Wonderful. So now the price on our head is gone, along with most of our money, but this was worth it in the end. Okay, now the guards should not actually recognize us or hunt us down.
Get moving.
Okay, we'll drop off a few of those hammers again. I don't need all of them. I guess 3 of them can go. Right over there. They should not be taken away even though we're in the Thieves Guild. And now the guards should be still happy to see us. He does not run at us. So I think this was a complete success. Can we get to... I think the Divine Event gets us the Moon Moth Fortress. So off we go.
I'm listening.
And because we did not actually even break the law, I'm not sure if that gives you a bonus, but the Larius Varro here is going to be very pleased with our efforts. What if I can actually rest in those beds for free?
Yes?
Hello, Mr. Varro. I see everything's been taken care of, and remarkably enough, without creating any problems of a legal nature. You are far more discreet than I had hoped. I'm so glad I found that nice present from the Emperor. Here. Seems to be a ring. A very nice ring. There was no note with it, I'm afraid, but I'll let the Emperor know you've received it. I'm sure he'll be pleased. Also, from me, because of your exceptional discretion, take the special one from my own library, with my compliments. So yeah, the Ring of Surroundings, it's kinda nice. It's useful for sneaking about. Yeah, we don't do that in Legion, but this ring over encumbered us. Lovely. It's a great ring, though. We look for it here. The Ring of Surroundings. There it is. A bit of chameleon on self. Now, 20-30% is not... It doesn't sound like much, but it can make a difference. It just means you're way harder to spot. Okay, I didn't expect our weight to be, like, dead on. Okay, fine. We'll alchemy a bit. We got plenty of ectoplasm, which does fortify agility, so maybe we'll get something out of this. Fortify strength. Do we have anything that fortifies agility? Personality. Detect key. You can get all sorts of weird things, like all sorts of weird ingredients and effects, and that's kind of great. I think it's pretty much everything that can be a spell can also be in a potion of some sort. Ooh, we can make a drain strength potion. Or not, but at least it uses up the glass. That's all I wanted. Is literally all I wanted. Okay, so we got new quests. And because I'm somewhat annoyed... Oh yeah, we got the book. I think the book is kind of a bonus. The biography of the Wolf Queen. Give me the speechcraft. By the way, Wolf Queen, a somewhat famous character. Okay, let's get back to Balmora for now. Fine, we'll use the amulet for that. The other thing is, the amulet doesn't give you any skills in mysticism, which was what I was kind of after. It does give us enchantment though, but that's not quite the same, I think. Okay, I believe those beds are open for everybody. At least this one here. We'll again save, because the game has no real way of letting you know that this is like a private bed until you actually try to sleep in it. Unless, of course, you take the ones in the Mages Guild. Also, because we're somewhat injured, let's get ready with the Devil's Spear. Rest until healed. There are apparently no assassins nearby, which is kind of cool. Although somewhat sad, because we are completely broke. We can afford like one Silstrata trip, and that would be it. Speaking of which... Oh no, we can actually do something, and that's something I want to show you. It's something that I'm not sure has been fixed in one of the patches. I think they fixed quite a lot of things. But do remember that Roland Lalo was actually murdered, and there is a price on the head of the murderer, and we can go claim that. In the Lalu Council Manor, there is this person here, which will give us 1,000 drakes or 1,000 gold if we talk about Roland Lalo. Now the thing is, there's a bug here. Oh no, okay. In the unpatched version, you could just bring that topic up again, and you would get 1,000 gold again and again and again. So you could repeat this to no end, which means basically free money forever. But this is nice. I actually fixed stuff, so we have solved the murder. We now have 1,000 gold again. And we're free to spend those however we please. I believe this also would count towards your House Lalu tasks if you wanted to join those. But don't quote me on that, I never go with it Lalu. They're more like the thieving trading house, and I just don't like trading houses. I don't know why. I just always prefer the Telvanni for their straight up weirdness and their openness, and like, yep, if you steal something and you live to see the day and tell the tale, then you've bloody well earned it. I think that's a remarkable rule for any house to have. Okay, we also gained a bit of reputation, so we are now somewhat famous, although I believe much of our fame actually stems from having butchered most of the council club. By the way, the rest of the guys in the council club are fine with this. So I believe if we
Summoned by another. Questions again.
if we talk about latest rumors, yeah, they say someone hit the commander tongue at the council club. Hard. And the guards say they're very concerned, but they're following all leads. But somehow they don't seem very sincere. And Larius Varro, champion for Moonmoth, he's been quoted as saying, "I swore an oath to stop corruption, but it seems the gods have seen it fit to fulfill my oath for me." And you know what's funny? Someone said they saw you talking to Larius Varro several times recently. Coincidence? I don't think so. Yeah, so people on the street have caught on to the fact very, very quick. But the Kawanatong, who are also up here, don't seem to mind. This guy, still unfriendly. Still Kawanatong. But yeah, he's totally oblivious of the fact that we just murdered all his friends. I'm not gonna go another killing spree up here though, because A, I'm out of invisibility potions, and B, I'm not gonna trade in everything I own for another bounty removal. I believe if you're really good at sneaking, I mean really good, like close to 100, you can also sort this out manually. Or like you can also try to sneak and try to stab people without getting noticed. But that's very, very, very tough, because I believe unless you score an insta-kill, your crime will be reported. And as soon as you get into the rooms with more than one person in them, they will pretty much be guaranteed to see you do it. So there is no way to this aside of having the money. And I'm quite glad it didn't actually cost us the whole 5 grand, because that would mean we'd be in prison for a while. And in jail you actually lose skills, and you lose abilities, and you lose character things here. Yeah. Attributes, that's the one I'm looking for. Attributes. And of course, the longer you are in there, the more you lose. And considering we would have to pay off 5 grand, we'd be in there for a while. We can still go in here, and nobody has bothered to pick up those bodies. I think they will be in here for a while. As in forever. I kind of need some sort of home, because I want to drop off my stuff, and you can't just claim any of those buildings here. You can like take Roland Lalo's house over, because he doesn't need it. You can take over. I mean, you can just use any container in here, but I'm not sure if things despawn in here. So you might end up coming back to your stuff with a nasty surprise. But if memory serves, you can just take Roland Lalo stuff. I remember my brother actually took this house of Roland Lalo as a loot drop-off point. So he had his recall set there. And I think he set it right next to some crates, which he first emptied out. And it was kind of fun because all of those were like filled with loot. And I think at some point containers in Morrowind, even those are like filled to the brim. They're done. You can't squeeze anything else in them. So yeah, it's hilarious. And so he had like filled the floor with stuff as well. He spent hours arranging everything so that he had like some stuff over, like all the weapons lumped together and all the armors lumped together, and maybe some stuff over there and some uniques over in another corner and so on. It was hilarious. And yeah, it was also weird. Also quite weird, I admit that. But yeah, just to show you how far it can go. Because even though there's not as much unique stuff in Morrowind as in other games and later games, there's a fair amount of stuff you can collect and just keep to yourself. Having a drink here. The chat is remarkably quiet today. Quite a shame. I enjoyed chatting with people. I'm so glad we just remember the 1,000 gold bonus you get for catching the murderer. Okay, so what were we told about Laoad? How do I get there? Southwest of Balmora. You can follow an old trail down the River Odai to get there. Oh, it's right there. They marked it on a map. So I think we're in for a hike. We'll go hike along the River Odai. The River Odai should be this one here. I'm also gonna save the game right after we fought this Nyx Hound. We don't need a Devil Spear for that, or rather the Bound Spear. That'll do. I'm not going to bother looting it, because we're already pretty damn close to our max weight limit. I believe Larius Vara actually told us about a criminal on the road to Laoad as well. So we might actually find this guy and maybe sort a lot of his problems out. It's not up, it's somewhere below you. I think he does just as much. What might have been a smart idea would have been to actually spend some of that money on maybe restoration training. But considering we're out of mana anyway, it's probably not a bad thing. Something sees us, so there's no point in sneaking. That's not a thing. Right over there. So, the West Gage region. I really enjoy how this mod actually gives you like a whole lot of stuff. Like, it adds a whole lot of foliage to the entire area. It makes sense because there's another crypt over there. Not because of that, but it makes sense because I get trapped in foliage. That doesn't make sense. But those are just workers. To talk to them. Squeak. I just script. I think that's an egg mine, and I'm not sure if the queen in there is blighted as well. Okay, I think that's the way to Laoad. No, it's not. It's on this side of the river. So we'll follow this side of the river. And I have to sell off something in Laoad because I'm currently at the edge of my weight capacity, and I still have to carry stuff back. I mean, Habazi asked us to bring Edwema Tube, Edwema Goblet, and Edwema Bowl. I'm kind of glad she didn't ask for Edwema Cog, because those are like 50 weight units. But they're still bloody heavy. And we'd have to drop a lot of stuff for that. Although I think I still carry around like 10 hammers. We do need to keep some weight capacity. So I think what also might be a good idea would be to get out the bow again. And those iron arrows. And maybe we'll see if we can shoot something. As I said, arrows are a pretty decent placeholder. We are now invisible. Say invisible, we're not invisible, but we're sneaking at the very least. I believe we'll also level up our skill. I think we also gained some skill from getting beaten up by the Kamana Tong. Oh, lightning. It's so creepy. I'm also kind of freezing right now. It's cork root. I think I'll want some of that. It's not giving me any though. I wish I remembered what which ingredients fortified your strength. I believe the Droid wax was actually one of them. The other was I forgot. But I remember now. Also, we need to find Sia's house in Balmoral later on to give her a skooma pipe. If we use Comberry and those frost salts, we should get a restore magicka potion. And we even get the actual potion out. Lovely. Anything else that restores magicka? I believe ectoplasm might do it. No. Restore magicka is hard to find, which is quite a shame because it's one of the things I do need most often. It's not a bit of green, but now we can see that it actually gives you invisibility. It's kind of cool. And I also like that you can learn about many ingredients from books. That maybe do it? No. Fine. Okay, apparently the Odai Plateau. Oh yeah, that's if you join the Lalu, or yeah, I think the Lalu, then you can actually build a house over here on the Odai Plateau. And also, I think it was a fun thing. You were actually it was a bug, but I believe you were actually inducted to the House Lalu along with the Red Run thing. You could ask for a promotion, and then they would add you to the Great House Lalu, and you could raise in there. You could get tasks from them. Otherwise, they would not. This is one of the only ways to actually get into two houses. Although you could only get so far, because at some point, to advance further, you actually need to build a house for yourself, and you only get one permit for that from the Lord. So at this point, it's kind of a hard cap, because the game never really considered that you could bug yourself into two houses. So the game decided you would only do one of those, and that would be all you'd get. That would be your lot. Okay. You know, I'd really like one of those gondoliere hats, although I suppose the Dark Brotherhood armor is just fine for that as well. It will do the trick. I was kind of hoping for like some Nick sounds to shoot. Oh, there's a cliff razor. That'll do. Die, would ya? That is diseased. We'll not touch that. There will come a time when we don't care about this anymore. For example, when we learned how to cure diseases ourselves. If I get struck by lightning, will I get mana back? I'm not gonna try it. Also, those trees look so creepy. Those trees look so creepy. I will just look at them. There might be nick sounds around. Ah, Bitter Coast region, I missed you. So I'm not sure if this is a place I would like to live in. I mean, what's keeping people here? I guess it's a fishing village, I don't know. They only have one boat.
Yes, friend.
I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Who are you? Okay. Oh well. Ancient abandoned tombs in the area. Great. Just what we need. A Fat Legs drop-off. That's where it's supposed to go, right? Here we are to find two people. Who are you? What's your trade? A general merchant. Let's see if we can general merchant something. This book, for example, is kind of useless to us. I need to weight capacity more than I need the book. And we got this skill point from that already, so there is no point in keeping it around. Ooh, Scuttle. Scuttle are nice to restore fatigue, so we can put those into potions. We can also buy a paper lantern from here. Actually, I've never seen a potion spoil in my inventory, so I think that's just to show that this merchant is like a bit dodgy, and if even his health potions spoil, or his cure disease potions spoil, you probably don't want to buy food from him as well. Good as Razid.
You want something?
I do indeed. I'm supposed to get some Dwemer artifacts from you. What Dwemer artifacts? Well, fine. They might be in that chest, or down here. I believe again we could just take the I think this is the Kamanatong. Yeah, those guys are Kamanatong. So this is a Kamanatong hideout. And I believe the artifacts in question are in here, which is a lock that is currently beyond our abilities.
What do you want?
So, yeah, apparently the Thieves Guild and the Kamanatong are at war. Just in case we haven't gathered that before. Okay, I think this is not going to help us any further, so there's nothing we can do here right now. Which means, off we go! Amulet away. Mute the microphone for a moment. Okay, I'm back. Now, one thing I don't like about this is that your this menu here does not scroll when you scroll down. So in order to see my my attributes, I have to actually open this and then drag it down here. I don't like, because I like to have this menu show at least 3 rows of stuff. And yeah, this doesn't help me. Also, I can just eat things directly, which will, I think this was mentioned in the tutorial, which will give me the first attribute in that list. I think there's no way of seeing other attributes, and I'm not sure if this gives me alchemy skill like it does in Skyrim. I think it's about time for another rest. We'll nap just to get our strength back, and maybe get assassinated again. Which reminds me, I still totally have this stupid throwing dart, which I might have even been able to sell off at another place. Let's sell it off now. I have a uniquely carved ebony throwing dart worth 2 grand. There we go. That sorts out our being broke.
Do you want something?
And if we've been hit with that before, I mean, we had several assassins attempting at our lives now, and I think we only had one of those arrows. If they used that in the previous attempt, I would be very careful plucking that out of my body. I mean, it's worth 2 grand.
Greetings. What exactly do you require of me?
Okay, no loud noises. That's a shame.
I'm listening, please. Go ahead.
Can you take me to Aldrune? What was Edwina's last task? I totally forgot. I think she wanted to send us to some Dwemer, or she had no tasks for us until we advanced in the guild. I don't know. We'll find out in just a moment. But there was a fairly simple Legion task as well, which we can do here. Edwina, give me something to do.
Tell me about yourself.
Ah, yeah. When we have earned the rank of Conjurer. And we can't do that because we don't have the requirements just yet. So yeah, we're some teaching away from that. We have 4 out of 10. Okay. Don't think we can actually level more than... I don't think we can afford the education for another directed level up, so I'm gonna call them directed level ups. Okay, I need to do something here. Quests. I need the... Mage's Guild. Mage's Guild. There's also Sleepers Awake. Okay, so the Sleepers Awake dream is... I think we can actually talk to that with Caius Casades. Legion here. Drenal Varian, that was the name I'm looking for. He's in Aldrin somewhere. And we currently don't know where exactly, but we'll find out.
May I?
We'll totally find out. And something that just dawned on me is I could actually probably afford like 10 points in Mercantile. Which would give me like 5 points to my personality next level up. So you could do like a partially directed level up. Just get enough training in the skill we actually need.
Ah, hello. Did you want something?
Yes, not be bothered would be nice. Okay, if I just took a dip here. I'm also not sure how dark it is right now because I just noticed that my that Flux kicked in, which is a program that filters like the blue part from your screen's radiation, not radiation, but from the screen. And that gives you... Well, it's supposed to let you sleep easier. Although I have disabled it for full screen apps, so I should not fall asleep during the stream itself, because I'm not looking at that screen right now. Did they tell us where this guy lived? Let's see. Options... Legion. Go to his place in Aldrin. Okay, fine, but you could have told me where his place in Aldrin is. It was somewhere over here. Close to Scar, which is this huge shell there. bookseller. I've actually been in there. I could see if he has Vampires of Vardenfell too. Which I believe is a book that details the cure from vampirism.
What's this about?
Do you have the Red Book of Riddles, Vampires of Vardenfell 1? Nope, you don't. Scrolls you keep around. We have some of those, we have some of... Oh, well, we don't have that. But illusion, aside of the usual, like, invisibility spell, I really don't use illusion that much. Invisibility and chameleon are the only illusion skills I actually use and I find useful and worth having. All the rest is, in my opinion, very situational and very rarely useful. Because I don't seem to be needing to rally all that many beasts to make this worth anything. Okay, is this the house I need to go to? Oh, Cliff Racer. Of course there's a Cliff Racer and it's coming right for me. Oh yeah, the guards do help you in this case. And you have to be really careful because they... Oh, hello, Cooperkins. Morrowind Manor. Ooh, I think this is actually one of the Redoran lords. Or council members. We're currently looking for Drinar Varian's place, by the way. I think this is where it's at. If memory serves, it was in one of those little accumulations of buildings. That's not the one. Ilmaril, nope. 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 Nope.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
Do you know... Okay, yeah, can't talk to you about Drinar Varian with this guy. So there is no point in doing that. You've missed us going bonkers in the Balmora Council Club. We actually killed the Commander Tong there. Gildan's house. What exactly tells us which house this is, by the way? This sound just gave me the creeps. Like, okay, something is rising from the earth, and I don't know what, and I don't want to know. Is anyone here Drinar Varian? Sounds like an ash storm's coming. Morrowind just says... Is he even in Aldruin? I thought he was in Aldruin, but we'll... Yeah, in Aldruin. Okay, fine. Could have told me where he lives. The Aldruin Council Club. We don't go killing people in there. Aldskain. That's just a regular inn you can find. Okay, am I missing it? Get me a local map. Scar, Council Club. Drinar Varian's house. It's right over there. We totally missed it. Should be this one here. Ha, there it is. Okay, so he has a lot of pottery in here.
What do you want?
On the first look, it doesn't look like he has any Dwemer artifacts. We can talk to him about it. The famous Varian family. Nope, I'm only here to study local pottery techniques. Those look very local. It's quite remarkable. Redware pots all over the place. Nothing criminal in there at all. But look, what's this? We'll probably have to distract him somehow. Hello, Drinar Varian. He has a Dwemer too. Which we are to, by the way, steal. Oh, fine. What's your trade? Native Dunmer pottery. Yeah, he's not really a of talkative sort. That's 42.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
That's fine. So do I. Just wanted you to turn around like this. Can I sneak now? Wonderful. Where's the stupid Raymond tube? Where did the tube go? Would you mind turning around again? I'm totally not dancing on a table. Okay, look, I'm going to drink your beer if you don't look here. Does anything else do? I thought he had more stuff. Here's some pretty high-level chests in here. We'll certainly have to invest in some security skill. Can I buy some of those pots, maybe? Jump up there. Okay, there is the Dwemer tube. Now, if you could look away, that would be lovely. Okay, we're going to be here for a while. Maybe use the gift we got from the Emperor, which is the Ring of Surroundings. By the way, fun fact, if we use it now, you'll see we become partially translucent. I think this is kind of cool. Ah yes, St. Laura, Morrowind. It's also one of my all-time favorites. And I think I might even claim that I'm one of very few people still streaming this stuff. And also failing to get onto tables. Also, even the Ring of Surroundings is not quite sorted out for us, so... well, maybe because we're still being looked at. Could you look away, perhaps? Well, we have found the Dwemer tube, but we can't use it, we can't get to it just now. Could you maybe study that pottery over there? I'm sure it's way more native and way more Dunmer than this stuff over here. Totally. I'm just doing my acrobatics practice here, so if you don't mind that. Okay, we are not yet invisible. Ah, we are not close enough. Okay, we are close enough now. Ha! Totally did it. Finally. I'm not sure if he has more stuff like this. Ugh, that looks like it was indeed an ash storm.
I'm listening.
Oh no, it wasn't. We were just loading. So we found Dwynarvarion's Dwemer tube, and it's totally different from all the other Dwemer tubes we could find. Okay, where's Imzin Dreamer? I think it was downstairs. Downstairs and right, and left, and that was too far. Do you have any, like, duties for me? Ah, that's Imzin the Dreamer. I'm hoping she won't promote us. Yeah, I found a Dwemer tube. There it is. Okay, any more, what do we need? Orders. Okay, we need to rescue a knight. I'm barely more than a recruit and you ask me to rescue a knight of the Order of Ebenhard. Well, fine. And he's been held in Ashur-Nibibi, a Daedric ruin on an island northwest of Falawat. can't afford the ransom, really? Really? You're sending me in as a shock team because you can't afford the ransom. I don't find that funny at all.
I have the finest spells in town.
Any good invisibility spells? Barriers, Bone Lord. Those are kind of fun. So pinch, that's... Okay, where do I keep the good spells? I mean, this is kind of cool. Those are kind of lovely creatures. And I find it weird that you only see like very, very few Daedra in the later installments of the series. I think the clan fear was actually very rare in Skyrim, if any were there at all. Are there any Legion beds in here? Probably not. So we'll just get back to the... Hello there, Hector! Now, where to find a bed? I don't want to pay for an inn. Ah, Mage's Guild. Our one and only resting place, the Mage's Guild. I'm still sneaking. We're just walking very, very slow. Do I have anything I can sell? It's my... They didn't even take that stupid Dramer tube from me. Seriously? Even in the Dramer, you suck at criminal work.
May I help you?
Okay, time to get some more rest. And then maybe get attacked by the Brotherhood again. I am in need of more teaching. No Brotherhood? Well, fine. That's okay, I'm not insulted by that. They did serve me well, but eventually we'll have to actually go and sort them out. I think the chance of getting attacked increases with your level, so they will become more of a nuisance later on. In fact, I think that was... I am. I think that was actually one of the reasons why I first decided to sort out the Brotherhood at all, because until that point I was just enjoying the fact that they were giving me so much money. And
Can you ask your question?
I eventually just got annoying because I wanted to rest and they wouldn't let me, so I said, okay, you know what, I'll go to Mournhold and I'll sort it out. Okay, we could go back there, but I don't want to. We're not wealthy enough, though. We're not wealthy enough for decent training. I would really like some more either alteration, although we then also need a better opening spell. A prolonged research, you could have just asked me, my friend. You could have just asked. It's one of the personal information I do give out because it's very vague. Now, what to do next? What to do next? Also, we're at 80 pages of journaling already. And this is one of the mysteries of Morrowind. Who or what exactly writes that journal for me? Am I sitting there with my journal all the time and writing in it everything that's said to me? Because that's also a topic thing, which records literally all the topics that you ever spoke. So if I go with Healing Altar, I get nothing because I've not talked about this at all. If I say, let's say, Gold Carnate, no. I should have talked about that with Ajira, but it's letting me down right now. Abibal Egmai, that's for example. Thank you. I think it gets worse sometimes, and it's okay. I know how it is. I've actually learned Spanish for a few years, and I've not used it, and it's kind of rusty already. And I've had Russian in school, and I've never used that. I hated learning Russian. And I did not quite return this Dramer tube. I still have it. Let's actually go to... was it Zülft or Ninchuleft? No, I think it was Ninchuleft. Let's do that. A German test. Oh, my English is far from perfect. And I really can't listen to myself talking, actually, so it's one of the weirdest things to have happen. And every time I listen to myself talking in English, I think, oh my god, my dialect is so thick. It's a very, very thick Saxonian, and at least I feel it's very thick. People tell me it's not that bad, but I personally think it's terrible. Then again, we were also told that, I mean, I was actually once supposed to take an English class because it was just part of the studies. And they actually told us that it's alright to make mistakes. So, for example, if you have a presentation and your English is not perfect, then that's okay because people see you as more human. Which struck me as weird because you'd think they see me as human because I'm standing in front of them and look like a human and not because my English has some flaws. Anyway, yeah, good luck with your test. If you need any help, I guess I could do that right now. Like any last minute questions. Do you actually learn German? Like, are you German? So is it like German as a native language where German tests involve like books and other stuff? Or is it more like German as in you learn it as a foreign language and you get like grammar stuff in there? Also, yeah, Russian is tedious to learn, although I believe with the right teachers, any language is actually fun to learn. And when I was at university and learning Spanish, we had some very motivated teachers who were pretty good at their job. And it was actually fun to learn that. It also helps if you really want to learn that language. And if you have a teacher who is not invested in it, who just goes literally by the book, then it's kind of boring, and you don't get into it, you don't get interested, you don't get invested in the language. And I've brought it up a few times, but for example, our Russian books, the textbooks we had were like 30 years old. And to a pupil, that's like one of the worst ways to represent the language. Just showing, okay, yeah, this stuff hasn't changed in 30 years, even though Russia has probably changed quite a lot in those 30 years. Okay, we'll go to Ninchuleft. I've decided that.
May I help you?
Or we could go to, what was that place? We're supposed to show compassion. In a shrine called Mael Kashishi. I'm not sure where that is, but we'll find out eventually. For now, I think Ninchuleft is our goal, because I believe we can find something very nice there. Also, according to YouTube, I have 6 concurrent viewers now. Although I'm sure I'm actually at least one of those myself, because I have the stream open on my phone, even though I don't actually need to. I just opened it earlier because I was not sure how well the live stream shows up on YouTube. Oh, now I'm down to 5. So we might have lost the Hector. If not, good luck with your test. It's a very reasonable move to go to bed before a test. Unless, of course, you're only like 2 hours away from your test, then you should have gone earlier. Ah yeah, German grammar is kind of terrible. Well, I think most people have trouble with the pronunciation and the nouns. I mean, German nouns are kind of fun because you can string them together so well, and you can make tremendously long words. Telmora. So you're not learning any new languages in France?
Make it quick, Outlander.
Yeah, the pronunciation isn't that bad. I've seen worse. Like Drema language is horrible with pronunciation. And I would say Russian sounds a lot tougher, a lot harsher than German does sometimes. Although people on the internet really try to they try to make German sound very hard, very, very brutal, and I don't think that's necessary. But I guess that's what you get for losing 2 world wars after starting them. Okay, now, two left. Did they mark it on a map? Let's tell those. Apparently not. So, journal. Quests. House Telvanni. Mission 2 and 2 left. Which lies somewhere west of Vos. Lovely. I don't think all of them do. I mean, French doesn't sound very brutal to me. It sounds very, very, very soft and gentle, actually. And Spanish also is, it doesn't sound harsh. They have very, very soft pronunciation. At times. And, it just, yeah, German has some very, very, hard words and some very, hard pronunciations and stuff like that. Oh, thank you. It also depends on what you're talking about, really. But I've tried not to switch back and forth between German and English in videos. I've tried this once with Heroes 5, and in one of my very first Heroes 5 videos I made way back in the days. And first off, I really didn't like my accent again. And secondly, what also struck me as weird was it's very difficult to switch back and forth and not completely get into an accent. Because it's very hard to fade that out and to forget about the accent. So, at least I really didn't like the video that I ended up with, so I actually did this video like 5 times. And I think the version I posted in the end was still not one I would have gone with in any other case. Okay, so somewhere west of Vos. I'm so glad that's not a huge area. And again, it's Drema Ruin. Those aren't exactly small, so we'll probably find them. I believe the accent also depends on which language you kind of come from and which language you get into. I mean, all the European, or I think those are called Indo-Germanic languages, are somewhat related, and it's kind of easy to get from one to the other. But for example, learning a Slavic language or learning one of the Asian languages is a lot more difficult for us because we're not used to them. Also, there's something probably heading my way soon, so let me just take out my bow. Don't think that's high enough, but we'll see. Okay, it was high enough, but it just made it angry. There's another one there. Totally didn't notice it. I'm sure that was one more. I am Saxonian, so it should be a Saxonian accent. Which seems to be one of the accents that people really don't like, at least not in Germany. Nice. Almost out of arrows. Oh yeah, you can actually contact Kupokins for that mod. I'm quite sure she'll give you the link to the download. I'm enjoying the way it makes Morrowind look, because it's just great. Hands down. Very well done. And I'm not sure if Kupokins is still watching, but it's totally worth it. Word of warning though, it's a huge download. Like, I think 2.3 gigs, which... I mean, it's actually a mod pack, so... there's also... Hey, that might be an inch left. Speaking of which, how come nobody has ever found this place? It's not exactly hidden, you know? We were not even far away from those. I thought I had more arrows. I think I dropped 50 arrows last stream. I thought I had more, so they would be a better placeholder. And we'd get rid of more weight. What did he want again? I totally forgot what we're actually supposed to take from those. Probably go to House Telvanni. Some drama schematics. Oh yeah, the Morrowind music is also great. Something's loading. I'm not even sure which mods are in there. I think it's like a compilation of several dozens, if not over 100. So it's a really impressive piece of work. I actually had a link to that before, but I think the website is currently down. So yeah, do send a message to Kupokins. You can find they're probably up in the chat if you just scroll up. Just toss her a message and you will probably get a download link to that mod pack. It's called STEPWIND. I think we can just stop sneaking for a moment. Put that bow away. Ow. Yikes. This always makes me flinch. Rat. It's not sneak again from... Ooh, there's a... what's the name of those things again? We've not seen any of those before. So this is the first black bug we encounter. No, I don't know. I think it was something with S. Combat music just decided to kick in. Shulk! That was the thing. They give you shulk resin, which is kind of cool. I think it had a few uses. Okay, is that you left? I think it is. The Dreamer weren't exactly building cities very close to each other. Not sure why. like the way in. Okay, good. Oh, it dodged. Stop dodging my arrows. I'm trying to get better with the bow again. I used to be quite good back in... Ah, shit, it was the diseased one. Oh well. We'll leave that there. I believe every interaction with the thing, so looting it and actually taking things does incur a small chance of catching the disease. So that's wickweed. We'll take that as well. So used to actually having to knock in 2 arrows. It is really the training from Mountain Blade Warband. You generally want to keep shooting until you're completely out. Which, by the way, is a game I might stream eventually. Although it's bloody old as well, it's a game I absolutely adore as well, and I've sunk way too much time into that as well. Shulk. Maybe we should let it hit me, actually. Give me some more mana, you stupid bug. Apparently it was somewhat limited on mana. I gotta say, overall, I do enjoy the Atronach sign, though. It's the first time I picked that, and I kinda like it. Okay, this is since you left. Can really put like a sign somewhere. Okay, will we locate any Dwemer plans? Actually, let's quickly see if we can get one of those spells in. Yes, wonderful. Okay. Ooh, a ruby. I'll have that. Go up first and down later, I guess. Those things still give me the creeps. Although I have to say, with this creaking and clacking area, those Dwemer ruins are still one of the creepiest things I've ever experienced. Oh, believe me, I do jump sometimes. Like every time something hits me, I'm like, ah, damn it. Also, the Chronicles of Nietzsche left. Would make sense that they're here. And I'm surprised it's not written in Dwemer language. Also, when I was playing Morrowind first time, I was jumping as well. Like, it was an incredible journey, and you get so engulfed in it, and then so immersed in it. It's great. Do the thing first. This is gonna be such a profitable journey. But at some point you kind of know what to expect, and I think that takes away a lot of the stress, a lot of the tension. But it's still a fun game. Don't get me wrong, it's not taken away from the fun, but it's taken away from the and part of course from the noises of finding stuff. Like if you don't know where that, for example, where that puzzle cube is, you can spend hours looking for it, because especially if you've played like Skyrim first, and you expect the thing you're looking for to be at the end of the dungeon, of the completely linear dungeon. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad this spear lasted just long enough to actually get this ghost killed. Are those the schematics they wanted? I think those are. Another Dwemer tube. We don't need that. Kinda want those coins. And we'll give the place a thorough cleansing, because I don't know how many Dwemer schematics are in here. So many gems. So many gems. I was kind of hoping for more locked chests, though. Gotta say that. I'm kind of hoping to get some free security training, and I don't get it here. That was accidental. Ash salts. We will get plenty of those soon enough. Ooh, lock level 2. This is what I'm looking for. When the real prize is actually the security skill you get from this. Although we even failed that. Yeah, the real prize was the security skill. As I said, it comes kind of in waves, if you will. Let's leave those coins behind. I hear another of those spheres. Local map. Been up there. Been down there, have I? Yes, I have. There's nothing down here. Okay. You'd think the place is bigger for a Morrowind that famous. Those sounds. Those sounds. Look at that, another shark. Where's my spear? There we go. That one. Actually, it hit me once or twice. Yes, give me all your magic. I was about to say I could totally do this all day. Ah, damn it. It's diseased. Don't touch it. Okay, we found some schematics in there. We did not find any of the books, though. Well, as I said, I'm not entirely sure where those were. Okay, recall back home. So we did find a drama schematic. Yes, we did. These scarab plans. So we got a cephalopod helm now. Wonderful. Any more chores for me? Okay, yeah, we could ask Gotham directly. What did that helm do for us? Ooh, a bound helm. And we can summon a Dremora. That's kind of cool. I'm not sure how that's only worth 50, though. That's a very cool helm. I'm gonna keep that. I'll have to drop something though. Guess the directions of Balmora would be a good candidate for dropping. Guess I just drink a potion. Can I? Can't move yet. Let's go in with another potion then. That'll do. You wanted to have Slave Rebellion quashed. That's nothing we can do. We have not found that yet. You have nothing to do for us. You have no chores for us. Fine. We don't have Daedra skin just yet.
Is there something I can do for you?
No, not yet. Start with morale. Not short. I was actually hoping to get more time filled with that expedition to Ninja left, but there wasn't all that much of it accessible. So what to do next? I'm kind of stalling time for the main quest because I don't feel like doing that just yet.
Yes, Outlander. What do you want?
And I think once I actually get to a certain point, the events keep snowballing quite fast. So it does pick up pace eventually. Although I think Morrowind actually keeps it balanced nicely with this idea of, okay, yeah, you know what, you can take your time. Do it whenever you feel like it. But at some point they do send like Ash servants after you, and at that point it gets annoying. Especially if you haven't sorted out the Brotherhood yet, and you just keep getting from one attack to another, and it's just the worst. Sadly, even though we have the Chronic of Vinci left now, I think we don't need it anymore. I think we've actually, yeah, we've used 2 of them, and I think that's all the books we need to give away. We might sell one to Yobasha later on. I'm quite sure we need to go there anyway. Let's get Divine Intervention. There we go. Okay, put the hands away. I think we're off to Vivek. I might actually join the Morak Tong. I'm not sure if we can yet, because there was one pretty decently hidden, or pretty decently
Well met.
strong lock we would need to get past, but I'm gonna try it.
Greetings.
We're actually on the quest to lose some weight. Quite literally, because we have too much stuff. I guess hammering away at my stuff would be a good start. I just freed up a few kilograms.
That was the strangest book I've ever read.
Greetings.
We have asked you for a thing already, and no, I'm not gonna ask Trebonius again for a task. And for much of the game, I actually thought this was a quest you can't really solve. Like, it's one of those quests you just get to have a quest so they can say, yeah, I've given you something.
I'm waiting.
And you can actually solve it. And we are going to solve that before we become Master of the Mages Guild. Archmage, I should say. Which is very likely because we currently don't have the skills to get any further in the Mages Guild. Sadly. Oh, thanks for subscribing. Okay, I want to join the Morak Tong. Is that... doesn't look like the place with the boat. Maybe I can walk to the arena. St. Olm, St. Dellen, Temple. Vivek Arena. So one south and one east. I guess I can walk that. Okay, let's try not to die when falling down. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. No, it's not. Ha! Lucky. Okay, can we get another drop in without getting hurt? Yes, we can. I'm surprised. I didn't expect that to go off so well. Okay, so that's one south and now one east. So this should be the arena. Sorry, gotta drink something. After 2 hours of talking, your throat does get a bit dry. Arena Kent. Lovely. I think we want to go in there. I don't think there's an actual like arena challenge set like in Oblivion. At least I've never found that. Like, you were never actually given the task to go through the arena and do stuff there. Fighters' quarters. I want to go that way. Don't know if we can pick that lock just yet. The Morak Tong is a great source of income. And also one of the greater organizations, even though I have to say the Brotherhood in later installments was just written way better. Like, the quests had a lot more depth to them. Did I just enter the wrong... I just entered the wrong channel. Did I need to go to the Underworks? Let's go there quickly. Was not here. So, wrong canals. I'm sure that Ordinate has one of the worst jobs ever. I'm still not sure where all that water comes from. Okay. Holding cells? Nope. Like, this amount of water you actually get from actual sewers, and those are with
What is it, citizen?
like, with modern stuff, with all the modern things that use up water. So yeah, this is a bit dodgy, and now that I've studied this nonsense, it's one of my pet peeves nowadays. Okay, so this side it is. Down, and I just might have picked the wrong side again. So some of those storages here. Arena storage. Shouldn't be anything too bad in here, just some rats. How many doors do you need to store things away? Okay, this is the rat. Ooh, cool. Security training. Nice. What's actually the book that... Oh yeah, this book was great. Like, seriously, if you play Morrowind, read this book. It's absolutely amazing, and it's one of the better books I've ever seen here. At least I loved it. Okay, one lockpick has been used up. Luckily we found more. We're gonna be here for a while. I have plenty of lockpicks. What's my security skill? Well, be here that long. Security. It's 18. Okay, it's good as we're gonna try to get rid of this trap, and because I think traps don't actually have a level to themselves. So we might as well just come on now. Okay, that's sorted that out. Ah, damn it. Didn't want to do that. Ah, there we go. Once the lock is out of the way, the trap is usually quite easy here. Okay, this is actually only a 50 door. I thought this was worse. We can get a level 50 door. Open sesame. Aha. Hello, Morrowind. I think Morrowind had a very interesting legal system where you have this Morrowind, which is perfectly legal to do the thing. And also note that I'm currently wearing most of a Dark Brotherhood outfit. So I would think this is like a social faux pas to enter this place with that, but nope, we're fine. They even compliment us on our stuff. Wonderful. Okay, I think the Grandmaster was over here. Ah, there he is. Eno Hlalu. Who I'm not sure is related to the House Hlalu. You have found me. If you wish, you may request to join the Morrowind. I do. But they have been watching. Well, great. I'm not sure which exceptional talent they mean, but I will join you. And now we need to kill somebody. We need to kill Ferrur and Oren at the Elven Nations Corner Club in the Hlalu Plaza in Vivek. Slay him honorably. They have a very, very, very broad definition of what honorably means here, by the way. Basically, as long as we kill only him, it's fine. So the only thing that's not considered honorable is, I guess, I don't know, area of effect spells, tactical nukes, things of that kind. Okay, we'll save the game because I don't think we've actually joined those guys just yet. And I don't want to be kicked out for misconduct. No, it's fine. There is another quest here, by the way. Yeah, we through.
Yes.
Wait, there's one more thing in here, but we'll look for that later.
Go ahead.
I think you. Ah, yeah. Greetings. Perhaps you can be of some help to me. There are sensitive matters to attend to. What kind of sensitive matters would you talk about? The great Daedra Mephala has given me information that must be acted on. If you would be willing to work with me, I'm certain Mephala would be grateful. I would like to help. Excellent. There is a member of our brother living in Balmora, Balin Omarel. He has been freelancing, if you will. This is unacceptable and he must be removed. Unfortunately, his brother is a rather important member of our brotherhood, so it would be difficult to bring it to the attention of the others. He uses poison in his food. It acts swiftly, as should you. Okay, so we now got the... We are over encumbered by a couple leaves. Oh, I'm feeling silly there. Damn, I was actually hoping those would miss, or would go wrong. Okay, fine. You there. No, we can only train with you. I'll say only train. Okay, we need to do something now. I should have used some more of those lockpicks. Okay, let's see. Do I have razor plumes? Yes. What gave you levitation? I think it was... Oh, it was none of that. Also, you can use this bit of green petals, but we are not going to. I think trauma would give us levitation as well. Fortify strength. If we had our droid wax, we could use that now. I guess we'll try to do some restore fatigue potions. Those generally work out reasonably well. Oh, fortify speed. That's kind of cool. Salt rise. Can I move again? Yes. That's all I really wanted from this. Might be quicker. Where's the Lalu district? St. Olm, St. Delin, Telvanni, Vivek, Telvanni, Renas. I'll take a boat. Gotta be honest with you, I've never gotten good with the layout of Vivek. I know the temple is the south end, and the foreign quarters is the top end, the northernmost bit, and the rest is completely blank to me. I've never learned that. We could also get the quest to sort out the Ordinator murders here. I've always picked the wrong side here. Just want to get to the boat. I'd much rather pay the like 10 gold for that than walk across all of Vivek. And I can't emphasize how much I want one of those hats. I'll give you like 1,000 gold for your hat, madam. I'm not literally going to give 1,000 gold. I want to go there. Oh, by the way, we should totally look at that writ we got. Where is it? There it is. Honorable Writ of Execution. Pharaoh and Oran. The aforementioned personage has been marked for honorable execution in accordance with the lawful tradition and practice of the Morakton Guild. The bearer of this non-disputable document has official sanctioned license to kill the aforementioned personage. I think that is bloody well creepy. I have not actually looked at Timber and Stones, but I may have a look at it. And it may find its way on the channel. I can't promise it yet, though. And right now, I kind of have to keep my income together, so that's a big deal, but once that's sorted out, I will probably get into it.
What is it, citizen?
We need to get to the top of this place. The thing with Steam is that, or with gaming nowadays, is there are so many great games coming out every day. Granted, there are also very, very many bad games coming out every day. It's hard to keep track of them. And I mean, if I have people telling me games that are like worth looking at, I will gladly do so and gladly look into them. But yeah, for the most part, it's very difficult to keep track of it. Which one's the corner club? Is it this corner here? No, the no-name club. Curio Manor. Nope. That shouldn't have been the corner club. It's not even the corner. Ah, there we go. Elven Nations Corner Club.
Whatever you're looking for, I'm sure I don't know how to find it.
Oh, it's fine. It should be somewhere here.
Do you want something from me?
Nope, I don't. This guy here. In the,
Make it quick.
right now, I actually don't have a job. That's why I need to keep track of my income. But I'm currently looking for one. I have studied waste management and contaminated site treatment, which does not roll off the tongue, even though you can say it as much as you want. And I'm currently, yeah, I've applied to several jobs in that line. So environmental protection, environmental management stuff. That's what I would do for a living. I've actually done that for a living before, and I would like to do it again, but for more money, of course. So this is our target here. We can talk to him. I don't like the way you've been looking at me. Well, fine. You're not like this either.
You
I should have probably kicked in a health potion. Yes, I would like to live with that. I will probably try this with a Devil Spear. With a Bound Spear. That's what happens when you think you're good enough. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. Also, the game might have crashed there. Oh, no, it hasn't. You know how it is. You actually, I was employed as a student, so that way you're very, very cheap to most employers because they don't have to pay all the additional costs for your health insurance, your all the other social security stuff, and
listen, Outlander, but make it quick.
once you actually do graduate, which I have now, you just suddenly become more expensive. Yeah, this time is looking much more friendly. And nobody seems to have bothered this too much. He had a steel daikatana, nice. Why wouldn't he use that? People are somewhat shocked though. And we do now have a bounty. Good night, Cynthara.
You talk too much.
I gotta say, it's not like I chose waste management, it's more like the waste management chose me. I actually studied chemistry before, and
Bit it out or hit the road.
I kind of failed that. I was almost done there, and then I messed up an exam too bad, so I got kicked out. And I could take over most of my marks and most of my grades into waste management, so I decided to go with that. So it was partly because I was too lazy to pick some to actually redo everything, and also because it was it's also kind of an interesting topic once you get into it a bit more. Especially the contaminated site treatment bit interested me more than the waste management, although you can't have one without the other in the studies. But yes, someone has to do it, right? And also we're going to be interrupted by an ordinator right away, if memory serves. There should be one somewhere here. There he is, sprinting towards us, having the same problem we do every now and then. So now we actually get a new option. We can present our writs. So we present that. And you say your papers are fine. Go ahead. Move on. I love that. Yes, it was very interesting, and I loved the studying, to be fair. I loved chemistry. I've actually started I started loving it in school. I was one of the very few people in my school or in my class who actually loved chemistry. And when I was allowed into at the university and permitted chemistry studies, I was really happy. And they were pretty great years. Gotta say that they were pretty great, and I was not too thrilled when I ended up getting kicked out. But at the same time, I wasn't entirely sure if it was really what I was willing to do for the rest of my life, especially because I did write a bachelor thesis, which is now worthless, but I did write it at least. Oh wow, apparently the Cloudwood district was only one bit away, or maybe two. And yeah, so I ended up I just wasn't too sad. I think I just accepted it the way it was, and I think that's in the end the only thing you can do. I was so afraid I'd die here. Microbiology is interesting as well, yes. We had a bit of that in studies, and what I really noticed is that the waste management was a lot easier than chemistry. At least in many cases. We did have more maths, which was a bit of trouble for me because I hate maths. Although sometimes it can actually be fun. I did take all the math exams you can. And yeah, engineering math, because chemistry is kind of is considered a science, whereas waste management is more of an engineering thing, and engineers have more maths. Every other science exam was way easier for the waste management. In chemistry, you're really pushed hard towards the limit, and there were times when you were actually pretty much close to breaking. I've had times when I was really exhausted, burned out, and it's basically, it becomes a constant status for you. That's the arena now? Yikes. That doesn't look like the arena, it looks like a bug. Radar on. Ah, it's one more. But all in all, I think you just, yeah, you have to accept it and take things how they come. That's my personal lesson in life. Just ride it out as it goes. Although it does help to make plans every now and then, but don't be too stiff on them. And if they fail, just go with what you get. And just make it work. There's usually a way. Wasteworks. It was this. No, it was the other side.
If you want something, now's the time to talk.
Was it this side? Don't think it was. It was not.
What words do you have for me?
I'm a busy guy, so if you could hurry this up.
I should probably put my recall down there now. Because I think we're gonna be Morag-tonging for a while. Isn't there supposed to be a storage here? Oh, I was supposed to go in here, right, I need to go to storage. Fighters' quarters, holding cells. That was the storage bit.
Tidings. Go on about your business.
Training. I think there was at least one very, very high-level trainer in those those places. Oh, I am asleep, one among thousands. I bring you a message. Dagoth Ur once calls you, and you cannot deny your lord. The sixth house has risen, and Dagoth is its glory.
Speak, traveler.
Okay. I wouldn't say right at home. But fun fact is, you do develop a bit of a feeling for such things. Where's the stupid storage space now? It was here before. Works. Okay, I'll take the candle works here now. Suppose that's here now.
Citizen,
But to be perfectly honest with you, I actually prefer waste management over economy.
Outlander.
Why do you always have to stand in those hallways? Always.
Say your words.
Wrong place. Wrong place.
Say your words.
This way. That way. One of the most amazing things about the Morag Tong is that you actually get to you get a lot of money. We'll join the Morag Tong. This one was free. Don't have any special duties for me. No. Any more writs? Okay, yeah, Malzibal and Taurus Zaren. Okay. This guy is Telarune in the southwest of the Ridge Coast, and he has built his yacht right there somewhere. And Taurus Zaren may be found in the Zaren Manor and the Redoran Canton. Okay, we can do this. Do you have any lighter writs? What's that? Ah, okay. So the threads and webs are basically things of Mephala that the Morag Tong is actually looking for. Now that I know that the Redoran district is right next to the arena, I'm just going to try to walk there, even though I'm probably going to get lost on the way there.
Haven't I heard of you?
So we can look for something, but I'm not sure if he's here. But the axe trainer, the guy who can train you to level 100 with the axe, is actually a Morag Tong member. And there is a book that explains how it got to that point. Yeah, one of the things that studying this and like you study a lot of things. Like you study supply for thing, or basically popular supply. You study everything concerning water, like water supply, groundwater management, groundwater remediation. And one of the things we did learn, for example, was sewers. Like how you lay out sewer networks and stuff like that. And it ruined many video games for me, because sewers are always depicted very, very strange in video games. That should be the arena pit. We don't want to go there. God damn it. I mean, you often have sewers being like, basically they built the city on top of another city, and that's where, and that other city now becomes the sewers, and that's not how you would do your sewers. Also, they write waste works, not waste works. This should be Redoran. Yes. So, west it is. And yeah, now actually, I'm a bit angry every time I see a sewer level and it's totally messed up. Because it just is that, and you see them and you think, okay, yeah, you have a place where water wouldn't flow. You have, like, dead places. And when you have actual sewers, you don't want those, because there's gonna be a literal buildup of shit. And it's weird. I mean, we're gonna see that here as well when we enter the sewers, and it's I've been to sewers actually. It's part of the job. Not in the actual sewage, but you do inspect them every now and then. Although I only was there once. and yeah, you realize they're totally not what you see in video games. In video games, they're all this convenient way to get from A to B. They're this wonderful, not wonderful, they're a place where you can find all sorts of things that were relics from the past. Fun fact, actually, most sewers are relics from the past, at least where the Romans were, because already the Romans already knew where to find. Well, the Romans already knew how to build sewers, and some of those sewers are still in place right now. They are still used right now by many municipalities. Also, don't talk to any Sarans, because they know the Moroctong is here, or the Moroctong is after Taurus. We have to go in here. Yeah, they're not happy with us. And since I've learned from my last encounter with an execution victim, not victim, a victim to be, I'm gonna make myself known here by failing my restoration spell. Then we're gonna get my spear ready.
What now?
Yeah, he will attack me. He does have a remarkable hairdo. And he has a magical... Ooh, that's cool. Those are so valuable. We'll take that. We'll take one of those. We'll cast a few spells, and then we'll see if we can drink another potion. Yeah, there's always someone living in the sewers, and for example, the sewers in Skyrim are totally rubbish. You wouldn't want to live in the sewers. Actually, it's very dangerous to live there. It's dangerous to be there, and if you actually have to enter the real sewers part, you have to wear protective clothing, and I mean not just like rubber gloves and protective goggles. They actually go in there with an air supplied suit. So completely sealed up and like safe from microbiological hazards. And without that, you wouldn't want to live there. You wouldn't even want to go there. I should have totally used those emeralds. Or at least sold them, worth a fortune. Anything we can do here? Restore health, and we can use a very expensive restore health potion. And of course that one works. Lovely. Yeah, and they're also very, very spacious. Which sewers usually are. They're only spacious if you actually need them to be, because there's a lot of water running in them. The vast majority of your sewers is actually not that big. It's just like regular pipes, and you wouldn't want to live there, would you? Yeah, Riften is interesting. What I think I've railed on the entire issue of Skyrim versus Morrowind or Oblivion quite a lot in this playthrough. That's how you cure poison, and it failed. Ah, we're so close to that. Okay, get me the... I guess I'll try to summon a longbow. Well, people are not fine with Rift, to be perfectly honest there. I actually hate how the city turns out and how the Thieves Guild is there. But they can't do anything about it, and that's... well, it's many things. It's sad and weird at the same time, I think. Where the hell's the exit here? think it was there. Oh, by the way, the Morrowind has pretty clear rules about thieving. If it's from your victims, you're actually open game. It's fair game. Everything they own is yours if you kill them. I'm gonna go eastish, I think. Was it east? Yes, it was east. I mean, Riften is actually built on that river. It's not actually shit. It's they're more like built on that river, which name I forgot. But I mean, the city itself is pretty interesting. It's nicely done, and I gotta say that even though I do say many bad things about Skyrim, it's a game I greatly enjoyed. One moment. Okay, I'm back. Okay, which side was it again? Oh, we're gonna be here for a while. I think it was this one. Yeah, should be this one.
Go on about your business. Go on about your business.
Yeah, I would if you weren't standing in the way. Also, I just noticed all the alternators speak with a voice that sounds like they've been smoking for like 30 years. Is that part of their training? Okay, good night there, Hector. Good luck with your exam.
Say your words.
Okay, let's see. We have sorted out Torres Zaren, and we get 500 gold for that. And I think that's pretty remarkable because it's not much work to actually kill this guy. You just walk there, stab him, and that's it. Of course, sometimes, like with the other guy, we have to do more work. But we didn't even have to show the writ. And at some point those writs do build up, and it's quite a bit of weight you have to carry around. So, yeah, we'll probably have to see which one is the one for... Oh, this one we'll have to keep. Now, this is in the middle of nowhere, so it's also very unlikely that anybody is going to be informed about this. So we don't actually need this writ. But I'm going to keep it around anyway. We'll also want to... kind of want to recall now. We have business in Balmora to do. And because the lazy man's way of walking there is... could have just walked actually. I think the laziest way of getting there is via magic transportation. Now, taking out Balin or Morel is very specific. You have to do it in a very specific way. Otherwise, it won't be counted. You can't stab him anymore, because while he was running away outside of his home earlier, he's not anymore. Now he is going to be in his house, and you can't enter through the front door, because... Actually, I think he's still wandering around, but he will automatically see you when you enter his house. So we'll have to be a bit more discreet. So, Balmora it is. Okay, then we have to
Go ahead, I'm listening.
there, this
All right
way,
then, I'm listening.
that way. Kind of nice how all of a sudden they are listening to us. Just have to kill a few people in the streets and people will listen to you. Do not take this literal. I do not endorse the killing of people in the street. Gotta say that nowadays. It's a shame, but you have to say that nowadays. I also think this will be one of the last things we do before we call the stream, because it's getting kind of late. And I do have to do things tomorrow morning. So yeah, I will sort out the Berlin URL.
What outlander? Why do you disturb me?
Come on. So yeah, I think he's still there. And the quest will, I think it will fail if we actually go and stab him. I know he's at home. Taking a swim? That's weird.
Why do you?
I don't think this card is ever going to come out of that. Okay. Glorious. So here's Berlin Morel. As I said, we're not supposed to stab him. This is not his house. This is Briann Wade's house. I believe this is Berlin Morel's house. It has a semi-decent lock, I guess. But we're not going through the front door. We are going to the back door, the top door rather. That is, if I can open it. So, Unduce's key to the rescue. Or rather, Unduce's open door. Do we have a restore fatigue potion? Magica. Restore fatigue. There we go. Any guards in the area? Probably not. Okay, we can read his books, like Incident Necrom, which gives us a bit more illusion skill. Also, I think this book here, the poppy, blah blah blah. This book here, like fire fern and stuff, will actually teach you recipes as well. For example, you learn that fire fern has a resist heat, dragon's tongue, which is something I'm not sure we can find. Yeah, well, some of those are plants you can't find here. And even though it says Ironwood Nut is technically something you should find in the Forest of Skyrim, I've never seen it there either. Okay, fine. We are here to do business. We're not here for lecture just now. Balance Cauldron. We'll like to place the poison there. Probably want to leave the way we came. Okay. Apparently he's not cleaning his cooking pot that well. You wouldn't kill me that easily. I do clean my cooking pots very thoroughly. I like me cooking, and I do like to know what I've cooked and not what I've cooked last week. So, yeah. Not gonna happen. Okay, do we have anything I can sell? Yes, we got this glass thing. How am I looking skill-wise? Oh, it's a mixed bag. It's a totally mixed bag. So my suggestion would be to go with, I guess, some armor training. Although we could actually, no, let's do that differently. Let's go with... How much gold do I have? I should be sitting on 2,000 gold. Okay. So my plan would be to actually spend that wisely for once. And we'll go and learn some speechcraft. No, not speechcraft, we'll learn mercantile. And then we'll learn some security. And maybe something else will level up. I don't know. I think this guy teaches mercantile. Do you teach anything? No, you don't. We'll go down to
Don't stand about.
This better be important.
Tidy.
this person here. So we want to level up our...
Are the best in town.
You do mercantile, and it's fairly cheap. How many do we need? We have 4 personalities, so we need 6 more. 1, 2, 'Why is he asking who's there now? I'm not sure what's up with that. Okay, that's weird. I've never had that before.
I haven't much time, so be quick about this.
Okay, I totally lost my count now. Okay, 3 more. Training. 1. Training. 2. Training. 3. That should give us enough points for Speechcraft next level up. So now we'll do Strength.
Friend?
I need to have more carry capacity. I absolutely need more carry capacity, so I think Wayne will do nicely. We can recycle our gold with him. That's, yeah, I think that's going to come in very useful.
The prey approaches.
Just call me Prey. Dickhead. Okay. Okay, let's see. I think we're at 2 for strength, right? Yes.
This
Have
won't
some
take
place
long.
to be.
Can you train me in long blade? No, you can train me in that. That's fine. Hello, Lord of Darkshire. 1. How do I need? Okay, I need 4 training in blunt weapon and then 3 in armor. 1, 2, 3. Four. If we put those 3 to armor now, we should actually get to the skill we need. Okay, where's the wild shard blade? Away with that. Like some more gold for that though. Wonderful. And now we can train 1 more armor level, and now we're supposed to rest. Wonderful. So, off to meditate on what we have learned.
Is there something you need?
Yes, a bed. And a nap. stupid plant every time I need to go through here. Okay. Where's my Devil Spear? We'll rest until heal, which will only take us an hour. And we have ascended to level 8. The secret, it does seem to be hard work, yes, but it's also kind of blind passion and inspiration. I have not, and I'm not going to fight Vivek at all. Okay, 5 points for that, 5 points for personality, and 1 for luck, because that's, well, 1 for luck. Okay, so we're at level 8, and I think we're about to go back to Vivek. Good spells here. I guess I'll take that one, just in case I'll eventually drop my bound or my Devil's Spear. Yeah, I know he's strong. He's a god. Although his divinity is apparently on the waning side.
Greetings.
But if you look at the other way, I don't think we have to fight Vivek, because in the long run we will actually outlive him. We'll get into that later. Okay, Arena Quarter. Arena was 1 south and 1 east.
My time is precious, so make it tidy.
Anytime you're ready. Just don't keep me.
But there's actually nothing I would fight Vivek over, because, well, it's Vivek. He doesn't have anything in his place anyway. Yeah, that. I mean, I think everybody who watches this has played Morrowind, so I think I can go ahead with that. But in my opinion, since Corpus does prevent you from aging, and since you end up stripping Vivek's divinity and make him immortal again, I think you'll just wait until he dies of old age. Because that's what he'll eventually do, right? I mean, it's probably one of the most long-winded ways of defeating someone, but it is a way. And since he really has nothing in his palace that you can take from him, I think that's probably the smart idea. Just live a good life and not fight him. Also, I'm not sure why my neighbors started hammering now. Just in case you hear that. But I will probably call the stream in just a moment. Wrong side.
If you want something, now's the time to talk.
Yeah, I don't want to fight Vivek. I mean, we're killing off enough gods as it is. Oh, the game crashed. Wonderful.